Okay, and this is the Boeville and Newtown Model Railroad. Well, good afternoon, Track Gang. It happens to be Saturday, February 26, 2022. This is, and I've changed things a little bit. Sorry. I gotta trim the mustache. This is Series 2022. This is episode number 8. And, well, you know, I did talk about the bridge, but we're not going to work on that today. Now, what we're going to do instead is I just got back from Home Depot and I picked up some liner for the hidden yard storage system. I made sure that I was getting something that would not affect plastic, obviously. So this stuff is rather thin, but it's got a real nice feel to it. I think this is going to work out well. This here was, I think, $7 a roll, and the roll, believe it or not, is perfect. It's 18 inches wide and 4 feet long. Well, each one of the drawers is somewhere around 19 inches wide and 24 inches long. So one roll will do 2 drawers. So I've got 3 rolls of it. So I'm going to go back into the hidden yard, and I'm going to unroll this, and I'm going to cut it with a pair of scissors, and we'll see what we get, and I'll be back with that. While I was at Home Depot, there was another reason. I talked about paint. Well, and to me it was somewhat interesting. Sorry, I went off camera because I went over to grab the paint. Folks had asked, you know, they had never thought about using house paint. It was one of the things that Model Railroader magazine talked about years and years and years and years ago, was buying cheap paint to do your backdrops, to do your scenery work, and this is just a base coat. This isn't the final. This is just to kind of hide or give your scenery something that or give the scenery. I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. To give the base something other than just being flat white or brown or blue or purple, pink, whatever the heck it is that you've used. To give the scenery something to stick to, 1, and 2, to hide a lot of the imperfections and things of that nature. So what I did is I've got 2 colors of gray. The reason being is I bought the grays for the roads and the sidewalks. So I've got two different colors of gray. I've got a green and a brown. Now the green and the brown are a deep color. Of course, I didn't bother bringing down what the actual colors were. It may actually tell me on here. I believe that this is the darker. This is the darker of the 2 grays. This is Armory Gray, and then this one here is Greystone. That'll be the sidewalk. So you've got the Armory Gray, which will be the streets, and then the stone will be the sidewalks. And then I picked up Mountain Forest. You can kind of guess as to what color that is. That's the green. It's a deep green. And the last color is Friar's Brown. So this is obviously it's another deep brown. What you're trying to do, like I said, you don't want really light color. You want something dark because you're trying to mimic what it looks like. You have to remember, especially when you're dealing with HO scale or even N scale, that when you're standing in front of your railroad, you're not on top of the train. You're a great distance away, and what you're trying to create is that distance. So you're not going to have that bright, vibrant green or the bright, vibrant browns that you would see if you were standing in real life, you know, a couple feet away from something. It's going to be a lot darker. It's going to be muted. These are flat colors, by the way, and this here is, I know it says it on here someplace, but these are latex, interior latex. And like I said, I've used this stuff before. It's just the fact that the last time when I messed around with a 13-foot by 11-foot layout, the brown came out way too light, and so did the green. So, like I said, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create that depth, because anything that you put on top of it is going to be closer to you, so it will be lighter. So, when we actually get to that point, I actually do have my paint now. I'm still not too happy about the price, but, you know, I did do some shopping around, and, well, I guess I'll spill the beans here. This was $10 a quart, which, believe it or not, was the cheapest thing I could find. Again, you don't need expensive paint for this. You're not going to be scrubbing it. You're not going to have the kids rubbing crayons and pens all over it. And it needs to be flat because, and this has been brought up many, many times, you don't want anything that's going to bounce light, because with all the lighting that is eventually going to end up on this railroad, the last thing you want is something that's going to reflect light, and that's one of the issues I've got right now with the white. The white reflects that light a lot, and it washes things out. So by going to a flat paint or a matte, you don't even want to use matte. You definitely want to use a flat paint. So that's where we're at. I'm going to work on the drawer system here for a little bit, and then we're going to get back to running some trains here in a little bit. So we'll be back. Alright, so I decided not to try and cut this with a pair of scissors, and that may have been a little bit of a mistake, but that's okay. Because what I just did is I just reversed this black mat and put the uneven edge towards the rear, and then put the nice straight edge up against the front of the drawer. Now this looks awesome, so we'll see what we get here. I guess the first thing we'll do is we'll put the gondola cars back in place, and then we'll work on the refrigerator cars. Now I know that my I'm quite sure that well, that's kind of disappointing. Oh well, okay. I may have to trim the sides of this anyways, because it's kind of bubbling up on me a little bit. It's not exactly ideal. I was kind of hoping that I could get away from not having to trim the sides too much, but I may not have a choice in the matter here. Unless I just kind of, okay, well maybe we'll be all right. We'll see. Okay. Now, in actuality, the car cards would dictate exactly which way these are supposed to come out, but considering the fact that they've been in and out of the drawer system so much now, I have no idea what the actual, and I could look at the car cards and tell, but I really don't feel like messing with that. So when I get to the car cards, I'll just have to pull the cars out as they were. But I'm liking the feel of this so far. I mean, I think this is going to work out real well for keeping the rolling stock from getting goofed up while it's sitting in these drawers. And it may even help with the flat cars, because if you notice, in the last video that I did, when I would open the drawer, the flat cars would have a tendency to roll. This may keep them from rolling, which could be a really good thing. It'll keep them from getting the couplers too messed up. And I'm not sure if it actually showed up on camera or not, but as you can see, I'm already kind of set up for the next op session. You're looking at Richmond here, and I've got the 2 northbound passengers, and I've actually got the next through freight already staged to go north. So I'm going to go ahead and do some more work on this. And I may show some more of it, I may not. So we'll be back. All right, so that was a quick little project, I guess. It only took me about an hour. Let me go ahead and scroll down here and hope that this stays on screen. But, you know, just as before, and of course, I realized after I put this back together, they're still upside down. They're not facing the right direction. They should be facing the other side. But all 6 drawers now have got the black mat in them, and I like it. I think that's going to work out well. We'll see over time. But one thing I did notice is, of course, I said that these were 18 by 24. They're not quite 18 by 24. They are a little bit narrower than 18 inches, and they are a little bit shorter than 24 inches. But that's fine. I've got little strips left over from cutting it. So, at any rate, I think the next thing is let's go run some trains. Oh, come on, stop. Okay, so I've got a bit of a mail call here first. As you can see, this here is from Amazon. And I actually had told, I think I talked to Rick about this the other night. What I did is I went ahead and I'm doing an upgrade here, if you want to call it that. My daughter's boyfriend had given me a gift card to Amazon, and I'd also gotten one from work. So this is going to be the new vlogging camera. Now what's interesting with this is it does have an external mic, and that is the reason why I picked it up. Why would you need an external mic? Well, I noticed the other night that, or the other day when I was doing the vlogs, when I was rebuilding the storage system, that the further away I got, the softer it got. So, and this also comes with something else that's rather nice. It's got a remote. And this can also be used as a PC camera. So in other words, it can be used as a webcam, which is also kind of neat. Because that means eventually I could probably turn around and it's got a handle too. I could turn around and actually go ahead and fire up yet another camera on the layout. So anyway, the only thing I would definitely need to do though if I decided to do something like that is I'd have to get a USB hub to split the 30-foot cable that I've got that leaves the computer. So anyway, this thing had a rather good rating. So we'll see what happens with it. So next week's vlogs will be recorded with this dude. And we'll see how things look. I'll probably do a couple of test videos in between just to see how it works out. But I'm kind of liking this. This thing is extremely light. The only other thing that was a bit annoying was the fact that you had to buy the SD card separately. They didn't ship one with it, which I've already got. I got a 128 gig, which should be more than enough room to do my recordings. So, like I said, we'll see how this thing plays. We'll see how it works out. So, we'll be right back because there is something else that I need to do. So, stand by. As long as I don't put my thumb in front of the camera here. Oh, there. Okay, as you can see from the little splash screen, it is shout out time, and I just kicked the tripod, sorry. So we're going to go through the new subscribers from the month of February, and I'm sure I've called out a couple of these already, but that's okay. I'd rather do it too many times than not enough. So on February 2nd, we had Andy Con Trains. On February the 6th, we had Stormy Sky Rail Productions. On February the 7th, it was South Down Switching. The South Down Switching layout, sorry. On February the 11th, we had Andrew Turnridge. On February the 13th, we had Chimera Wargaming. On February the 13th, again, we had Medway Model Railroad. On February 17th, we have a buddy of mine, Pez 1211. And then on February 24th, we had Adam Cruz. And then on February 26th, we had Robert Sir-Eni. I'm hoping I said that right. Now, those are my new subscribers. I also found some new channels to subscribe to, so we'll shout them out here. The most recent one was the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Another one was the H.O. Delmarva Subdivision. Let's see what else we've got here. I know I've got a couple others that popped in here. that I had actually subscribed to. Oh, and I can't seem to find them now. Let's see. I believe I've got them all in here. So that one there was those were the last two. Like I said, we're H.O. Delmarva Subdivision and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. So welcome aboard, folks. I will be putting links in the description below. So at this point, you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch y'all next time. Be safe. God bless. We'll see ya.